Welcome to the new YouTube channel. If you haven't already done it, hit the subscribe button to follow us all season long for updates and content. So happy that you're here. It's going to be a great year. You know, coming out of SC, you know, you were highly touted going into SC. You had a great high school career, illustrious. How disappointing was it to go fourth round? Because I went fifth round, so I went lower than you.
Yeah, you went lower than me, so
I understand.
It wasn't the best. It wasn't the best experience. You probably exactly how I felt. Just for me, because I feel like coming out for the draft, they were saying, you might go second, third round. That's kind of where we have you slotted. Maybe one or two teams have you going fourth round, but everyone else had me second or third round. So I had everything set up day two with a bunch of family, basically like a little draft party, and that kind of got it went to shit. It was terrible because you're just sitting there for a long. It's like we were sitting there for like 4 hours because that second day is long. So we're there for like 4 hours, and everyone is waiting to hear my name called. There's tension in the room, you can feel it, and I never heard my name called. But I feel like that all happened for a reason. I remember having to send everyone home, telling them thank you for showing up. I'm sorry it didn't work out. And then the next day I showed up again. It was way less people, just my family and some few other friends. And I heard my name called pretty early that day. It was like 20 minutes into the draft. So that was nice. But going to bed that day was tough. But it was definitely a night I'll never forget.
Bro, I'll never forget it. And it was exactly the same, except my parents, for some reason, we didn't have any money or anything. And they maxed out their credit cards to rent a room in Vegas. I told them, I don't know when I'm getting drafted. Like, it could be second round, it could be second day, it could be third day. It's not going to be first day. Yeah. So it was exactly the same. You gotta, you know what I mean? I can't express like the embarrassment you feel. You know what I mean? Even though it's something out of your control.
It's crazy.
Like, you don't have anything, you know what I mean? I can't do anything but put on the tape that I already put on. Right. But you still feel like I let these people down, even though in reality you didn't let them down at all. But it put a fire in me that I don't know if anything else could have put that in me.
Right. Yeah, I think it definitely helped me that fire that you're talking about for sure. I feel like that got me going. I mean, I would say today, I don't know if it's the same fire of, me being drafted late, that same, motivation, but I still have, a list of the receivers and I read it every day before practice. But for me now, I'm chasing something else. I feel like as I get, more removed from the draft, I'm thinking about other things. And the draft is so far away, but I'll never forget the night.
No, and I mean, you give me for 120, I'll forget a lot of things too. Talk to me about that, because you've come a long way, and very, very incredible career. You've been incredibly productive, helped turn this whole organization around. You talk about y'all getting into the NFC Championship. You were a very huge, integral part of that, along with Jared Goff and Penei Sewell, and the pieces you guys have. Tell me how good it felt to write your name on that dotted line after all the hard work and dedication you put in.
Yeah, it was an amazing feeling. I feel like, not the end of the road, definitely not the end of the road, but definitely a step that I've always wanted to take and always had in mind. Coming here as a rookie, I wasn't like, I want to sign this big deal. My whole thing was I want to get on the field, I want to make plays. Then once I got on the field, I was like, all right, I want to have so many yards. And once I had those yards, I was like, let's win some games. Now let's go try to get a Super Bowl. So for me, like my goals kind of evolve each and every year. And, to get the deal done was, I can't thank, there's some people I can thank, my agent, my family, my people that support me, my coaches, my teammates, the whole, Lions organization. It was amazing. But like I said, it wasn't my goal coming into the league. Obviously everyone wants to get paid. That's why, that's why a lot of people play the game, but it wasn't like, oh, I want to get paid in 4 years. It was, let me see if I can make some plays. Once I start doing that, let me do this. And it kind of just worked out that way. And I was actually signed my deal the day before the draft. So it was like a full circle moment. I got drafted almost 3 years ago before I signed the deal. So it was pretty cool.
Tell me how your conversations was with your brothers. I don't know how your relationship is with your brothers, but my brother called me immediately. He was sitting there on the stage with me. We sitting there cheersing with my dad that night. It was just a really surreal moment, because those are the guys that you talk about it with, you dream about it with, you grind through it with, and to not that this is the peak of the mountain, but just to kind of check another box off the goals and accomplishments. How was that?
Yeah, it was it was a good feeling. I remember, and I was in the car. This was like 2 days before the draft. So the draft was in Detroit, and I was out in Detroit doing some appearances and stuff that I had already, committed to months in advance. So I was going to be in Detroit either way. And I was out there, and my agent called me. I was in the car going somewhere to do an event or whatever. And he goes, I think we got a deal done. And so he runs me through the deal. He said, I think we should take this deal. I was like, let's do it. Sounds good. And so right after that, I texted my parents. I had a group chat with my parents and my two brothers. I said the deal is done. 4 years, 120 million. They were like, my mom texted me right away. She was in Germany at the time. So I think it was like 1 a.m. where she was at. But she answered the phone. She texted right back. She actually called me, but I was busy doing something else. So I answered real quick. I said, hold on. And she would just tell me how proud she was. And that she can't believe it. And then my dad texted me that he's proud of me. My brothers texted me. And then it got leaked somehow on Twitter. And then my phone just started blowing up, and it was over from there.
Right. Yeah, then it's over with. This city of Detroit has been thirsting for success. Obviously, I'm sure they've told you many times about the lack of playoff success, the lack of playoff appearances. So to have such an amazing run last year, all the way to the NFC Championship, the furthest that Detroit has been in a long time, or ever, I believe. How was the city, and how has it been since then? Because, I mean, from the outside looking in, it looks like the energy is incredible. The fans are super behind you guys. The city has just woken up and really embraced this team and elevated, and they're showing up in big ways. But how have you seen it from a player's perspective?
The fans, man, I think they're the best. I think they're the best in the world, obviously. So I went to USC. I've been in California my whole life. There's so much to do in California. I don't know what the fans, if the team's not winning, man, they're going to go to the beach. They're going to go to Hollywood. They're going to go, do something else, go to Santa Monica. If you're not winning. If you're winning, yeah, they might show up still. They might not. In Detroit, they're showing up win, lose, or draw. They're at every game. And, since my rookie year, they've been it's been packed every game. But I can tell that it's only grown since we started winning. The fans, man, the energy that they bring it's infectious. I feel like for us as players, home games, they're loud. I feel like we might have one of the loudest stadiums in the league now. I don't know. I know Chiefs are loud. There's some other loud ones, but I feel like we might be up there. You got to ask the players that play against us. I don't know. But I feel like we're up there, man. But the fans of Detroit, like I'll go out to eat sometimes and people will come up to me and be like, I just want to say thank you for, bringing life to the city. Like, we just want to thank you for what you guys have done. And to me, it's like, I feel like in LA or in California, I would never get that. Like, there's so much to do. No fans coming up to me talking about thank you for what you're doing for the city. Like here, it's like they live and breathe and die for football. And so I'm glad that we're able to bring that joy to these fans because they deserve it. They've stuck with us for so long. But we want to bring them more because they deserve it. So we gotta keep going.
No question. I mean, are you gonna dye your hair back blue?
I think so.
It seemed like that worked.
For the playoffs, I think I might have to do it.
You kind of have to. It's tradition.